It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Yeah. Y'all must have forgot I'm on my Roy Jones. Flow terminally ill, talking full blown. The Ghost Rider, I wrote the script to your tombstone. Kill your favorite rappers in tandems, call it a group home. I've been keeping it discreet, but this shit ain't sweet. Once I hit my motor, start to reach. Niggas shit, they breach. I got songs in like 200 shows, what I gotta lead. Pull a nigga name up on the sheet and it's bon appetit. Fucking with the wrong one, I hope you got a strong gun. Every verse I'm going on them, they call me the Shogun. Pull a beat, 15 minutes, bet I get this song done. I can't trust a rap nigga that's stepping with his toes done. Fuck 'em out. Shout the Lord done it all. I'm Barry Sanders. I'm juking niggas from the coin toss. I'ma run the ball. That's 6 points. I get the money off the ripple when my pinpoints. Pinpoint precision, envision me on my rich boy. These on the bit. Trigger finger if it's itchy. I might squeeze on the flip. Bullets coming with a name. Let you bleed on the tip. Put a nigga in the box. Then I'm fleeing on the trip. I'm too king for me to slip. I want Parmesan. I Parmesan. I walk in the alarms on. I'm barking like a dog. And now your bones are what I'm chomping on. Sun down, bitch. I'm back to bending like it's Ramadan. Yo, 15 minutes was broad, it's like a calling card. Don't mean to ramble, this shit is like a free sample. I'm here to make an example, these appetizers ain't ample enough. Fire like a candle, I'm up, right from the panel I jump. Back in this shit, entertaining y'all on my channel, I'm the main event. Learn to use my voice so I could pay the rent. Nigga talking shit behind the phone that they ain't pay to get. Drop and give me 50, nigga, I get on my trainer shit. I don't do no freestyle, tell me I get paid to spit.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this Wednesday afternoon. In this particular video, we're going to be getting into, I guess if you want to call him super producer, Hitmaka. I don't know if he's necessarily a super producer. Maybe he would have qualified for that a couple years ago, but he ain't been as active as he previously was. So we'll just say producer, former rapper, young Berg. Hitmaka. He's got an interview out with Ray Daniels, and apparently he's making some circulation online about the advice that he would have given to Drake had he been in the room, had he been in the studio collaborating with him, or just being in the think tank of people in the room with Drake as he was, going up against Kendrick Lamar, preparing for the battle, making the records, writing the music and all of this type of stuff. So he has some retrospective advice that he would have given to Drake in terms of battling Kendrick, the angle. And basically, he feels like Drake didn't put enough emphasis on creating the hit, right? And I'll tell y'all straight up, because a lot of y'all weren't here last year, but some of y'all were. A lot of y'all were also. In my perspective, I was one of the people that was waiting on who was going to produce the hit first. Not because I don't enjoy battle rap, not because I wasn't content with the back and forth, but in my perspective, when I saw Drake battle other people, he typically utilized the radio and the mainstream music audience as firepower to get his opponents out, right? Because a lot of Drake's other like SoundCloud diss records that he's put out on other people, although his fans might have felt like they were the better version of Drake, they were, or been like, those are the sleepers. But it's really when Drake gets on a hit record or creates a hit record, throws disses at you back to back, became the standard, right? Because it packed enough to like really snuff Meek Mill out to where Meek Mill was like a laughing stock for like a year or two until he went to jail, came back. Drake literally embraced him, making it cool again to stand next to Meek Mill and fuck with him. So I'm like, all right, if you're going against the nigga that can make a hit record, diss you, have the people dancing, have it in the clubs, have it on the radio, and basically create, just like this fucking whirlwind of chatter about an artist. I'm like, Kendrick needs to produce a hit to neutralized the superpower, right? Because of course, Euphoria was that was shit. It could have been a knockout blow. To some people, they feel like the battle was already over at Euphoria. You know what I'm saying? Despite what transpired afterwards. But then, of course, Kendrick slow walked it down. You know what I'm saying? He did that. He did the 616. He did motherfucking Meet the Grams. Then he came with the hit. You know what I'm saying? So he displayed multiple layers of what he was doing, which by all measures do that. But he made sure to come with the motherfucking hit. And this hit is a generational record, right? Generational record, still chart topping, going on a year later, having almost more success now than it did back then, and also creating an entire movement around and a sound that Kendrick continued to lean into going into the GNX project without even including Not Like Us, right? Created a song that a rapper would literally have to sue for because it put him on that Summer Jam screen permanently. Ain't no more Summer Jams after this, nigga. You are on the screen. You get what I'm saying? So Hitmaka comes out and he says his advice to Drake would have been to get to the hit sooner, because what Drake did, remember, was he put out Push-Ups. Had a nice beat, but it's all bars. Other than the drop and give me 50 drop and give me 50 thing, which, it was cool. It was catchy. It turned into a thing of its own, but it actually ended up backfiring. Then with Family Matters, you got the drop, which was at the end of Push-Ups. So it lets you know that he was already like preheating the oven on the next one. Right? But Family Matters it's a 3-beat switch up without like clear hooks. He wanted to showcase that, okay, if you're gonna go on Euphoria and rap over, 2-3 beats or whatever, or different switch ups, I could go in that lane too. I could do this. I could do what you do. Was what his mindset was. And some of Family Matters was good. Some of it aged very poorly. A lot of it aged very poorly, as a matter of fact. Most of it. But just from a perspective of a song and like the beats and different things he was doing, and some of the other niggas, like the shit at the other artists, not named Kendrick Lamar, that was enough to get them out the game. But the issue was that he did not have enough material on Kendrick alone to stand in that fire. So again, Hitmaka says we would have had to take them raps off and find the hook and find the hit, right? Because things could have went, I wouldn't say much differently, but it may have been a more interesting fight. Maybe Drake wouldn't have had to put out the Heart Part 6, you know what I'm saying? The heart part shit stick and bow out. Because that's what that was. I don't give a fuck how many Drake stands, how many Aubrey's Angels come out and say that was a good record and that, it was worth listening to. It wasn't. It was filled with just convoluted lies and confusion and misquotes, and just wasn't any good. He sounded sad. He sounded downtrodden. He sounded like a man defeated. So let's get to Hitmaka and his so-called advice, because he actually, I think for him, he wanted Drake to win, right? He wanted to see that happen. He doesn't like that Kendrick is the top dog right now. He doesn't like that Kendrick is giving people hope of like, okay, we can focus on actual music. We can focus on lyrics and hip hop, right? He wanted Drake to reign supreme because Drake, and he's talked about this in the past. He said that Drake and Kendrick fucked up hip hop because now that Kendrick's on top, who wants to be like Kendrick? Drake was the guy who had, the melodies. He had a certain production style that was winning. He had the cookie cutter manufactured framework of hip hop to where when Drake is on top, you piggyback off of what Drake is doing, and that creates an entire ecosystem of 5 to 10 artists that can eat the crumbs of what's not around for Drake. Right? With Kendrick, you don't get that. You don't get to eat off the crumbs of what Kendrick is doing because there's only so many artists that can become wildly successful off of the merits of artistic nature in this industry. Unfortunately, it's just the way that the fans do. You know what I'm saying? That's why him and J. Cole have been as successful as they are. And I know a lot of people don't like throwing Cole in there. I'm not trying to put him in the conversation, but just in the context of like how this thing played out. People only really want that from like select people. And of course, there's independent artists and people like that that have fan bases. But as far as like mainstream, big success, it's only been afforded to a couple of people on the artistic merit. Other folks have had to do it from melody, you know what I'm saying, auto tune, and piggybacking off of the sound of Drake, and then, you know, street guys going into melody and kind of doing stuff and collabing with Drake, right? I've already talked 10 minutes without even getting to this nigga. He's not important, but we're going to keep it going. All right, so he was about to get into something else, but as y'all can see, he says he would have told Drake to find the hottest, best record in his catalog of like unreleased music. So even the shit that he was saving, like find your best record. Okay, and whatever you were saying on there, you could go in on Kendrick, but you need to have the hit element so that we could have this song played everywhere, right? Which is ultimately what he missed out on. Now, he did have some radio support for Family Matters, so we're not going to act like it didn't get played anywhere. However, it just doesn't fit the format of what gets a lot of plays. It wasn't going to hit, you know, those top 40 stations. He wasn't going to get those pop stations that mindlessly play Drake any other time to get the support, which is ultimately what Kendrick did. He has everybody behind him with Not Like Us. Even if they don't identify with the diss record and what's being said, it's there inevitably, so you're going to learn it back to back. But they not like us. They not like us. It just took over its own thing and created an entire wave where it became a slogan. And crazily enough, most artists that find themselves with a slogan that strong, they would try to monetize off of it and bastardize it and turn it into a whole brand. Kendrick Lamar, outside of performing the record a couple times, he don't even like, you know, he did a music video, which was surprising enough, honestly. It's not like he's resting on his laurels about this song. He didn't include it on the album. He ain't made no merch for it. He ain't done nothing for it. He just like, all right, y'all like it? Cool. I'll perform it. I'll make sure that y'all get y'all dose. But shit, I'm really on to some other shit. I'm really on this next wave of music. I'm really on this movie coming out. I'm really on, you know, helping other artists get their shit out. Doing some Paris Fashion Week shit, or, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that we're in this position where we're watching Drake have to like figure out his career and his moves and try to calculate things when he's never had to be that person. And I've been saying for shit probably 7-8 months, all he needed to do was focus on making universal music that people, and that, no pun intended as far as universal music, that people would adapt to, you know what I'm saying? Because that's really what got him here. Him trying to be this R&B impresario. I mean, as much as people try to say that he's an R&B act, that's not his strong point, strictly singing. It's not. Especially, just know that Nokia shit, I still don't see what people see in that record, but you know, it's got a beat to it. But he definitely needs some universal shit, something that can stick and have a life of its own. And for whatever reason, he's had trouble finding that music. I don't know if the people that he was writing those other previous records with, maybe he's at odds with them. And I'm not the guy that says Drake doesn't write anything. That's one thing that I've never conceded. You know what I'm saying? He does have a lot of help, but there's also enough Drake music out there that he's written himself that was successful, that has worked. So he has the ability, but he ain't exercising it for whatever reason. Maybe he's gotten extremely lazy. Maybe his pen isn't as effective as it used to be once upon a time, because that does happen to a lot of artists. As they get older, they shit don't be as potent as it used to be. So I'm not surprised that he's gotten help. But what I am surprised about is that he's not getting the right help at this moment to help him get past some of the other shit. Because of course, people like myself, the people that are covering this stuff, the hip hop purists, the people that really care about the culture, the people that really care about like what happens with this shit and the lyrical standpoint and the battle standpoint, yeah, we're always gonna hold this over his head like a dark cloud. But the radio don't give a fuck about who won or lost a battle. You know what I'm saying? Not for the most part. If the record is hot, if the record is supported, which is also a problem because his label isn't supporting his solo music as of yet. So that's also a problem, going against him with a lawsuit. I honestly think had he not tried to pressure the label into caving into his demands, Universal would have continued to support him as well. You know, because as we saw in the details of his petition, his lawsuit, all of the legal paperwork that he's filed, ever since the Not Like Us music video came out, he's been the aggressor towards UMG. UMG didn't say, "Oh, Kendrick's flaming your ass up. We need to pull our resources from you." All they said was, "Yo, your value is being driven down in the market. Therefore, we're not going to pay you what you're asking for." That doesn't mean we're not going to support you and that we hate you or that we don't like you or that we don't want to continue to do business with you. But what you're asking for is not actually in line with what your value is now that you've taken a major loss. You thought you were going to win and you didn't. And that it has an effect with what we have going on. But we still have a good thing going on if you want to continue to keep it going. He says, no, fuck that shit. Y'all are in bed with this nigga. Y'all teamed up with him to take me down. Y'all trying to lowball me now. Y'all, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to release no music with y'all. I'm going to do 100 gigs on my website. Okay, nigga, we own that too. Right? So he made the situation contentious, and I refuse to absolve him of that, to be trying to rewrite the story when he's done it to himself. All he had to do was take a little time, let the record ride out, devise his plan, make the right records that were gonna be that catered to what he does, which is borderline corny, catchy. And some people might say that that's what Nokia serves. If you like Nokia, great. But I don't see the vision on that. But do that, you know, because this is the guy that played the chart games. He knows what works for him. But he wanted to go dark. He wanted to go with the Young Thug and the 21 Savage features in the midst of everything. And ultimately that was it was a misdirection. It wasn't the right play. Then UMG came and said, "You know what? Them songs you put on your website, we like these 2 or 3 right here. Put them up commercially. since you want to play with music. Go ahead and drop that shit. Drop. And here we are. Almost a year later, Drake is still trying to find his footing, still trying to figure out his future. And he just continues to look strange in front of us. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time that we've really, like Hitmaka said, first time we've really seen him with his back to the wall. And although he tries to present as if he's got the ultimate composure, it's proving that he really doesn't. You get what I'm saying? So there's that. I don't think Hitmaka honestly would have helped him out in that situation. It's nice to say that almost a year later, but while they were in the thick of it, he had to act fast. And I don't know why he was trying to urge Kendrick to jump out. I think he thought he was going to force Kendrick to come out and make an impulsive move, which would ultimately, or could have ultimately, forced him into like making a mistake that Drake could have capitalized on because he was already premeditating how he wanted to approach it. But what he didn't understand is that Kendrick insulated himself, went in and said, okay, I got him right where I want him. He think I'm finna just jump outside and, smack him because he's taunting me. No, I'm gonna hit your ass when I feel like it, bro. You ain't nigga, you ain't learned. Not even the fans could make me rush to do no shit. And you think I'm gonna rush to do you, nigga? The ball is in my court, nigga. Fuck the big three. It's just Big Me is the top song in the country, nigga. Why would I rush? Fuck is on your biscuit. So it's going to be very interesting to see where things go from here. It's going to be a long fucking year. I'll tell you that much. Especially if Kendrick fucks around and drops something else, anything else this year, he's going to be in for a whole nother world of trouble. And unfortunately, everything that he does from this point forward is going to be under the magnifying glass of being compared to Kendrick, how it looks next to Kendrick, how he sounds compared to Kendrick. And unfortunately, the people aren't on your side. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some battery. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.